Hello and welcome to the History Project. My name is Pete and this is George. Now, have you ever wondered why the town you live in is called what? Hello and welcome to the History Project. My name is Pete and this is George. Now, have you ever wondered why the town you live in is called what it is? In this week's episode, we're going to explore the origin of Kent place names and drink some coffee at the same time.
Right, next up, we have downs. Now, if you look at a map of Kent, you'll see there are lots of place names ending in down. Okay, it comes from Old English, dun, meaning hill. So on the coast in Kent, we have Kingsdown, which takes its name simply meaning King's Hill. Over near Canterbury, we have Harble Down, which derives from a personal name and describes the hill of a Saxon man named Herebeld. Herebeld. How would you pronounce that?
Herebeld.
Herebeld. Yeah, if you do know how to pronounce this word properly, folks, please get in touch.
I'll put it on the screen. Again, we want little selfies on cell phones in the comments for people pronouncing it.
Right, so next we have the Cinque Port of Hythe, which derives from Old English, meaning landing place, folks. Romney derives from Old English too, and it means spacious or wide river.
Nice one. So George tested me earlier with Broadstairs, and I kind of nailed it, so I've got one for you now, George. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Sevenoaks.
God, Sevenoaks. Right. It's a bit risky, it's a bit of a gamble, but I'm going to say that there was a place where there were oak trees and somebody counted them and there were 7 of them and they named that place Sevenoaks.
Nailed it.
Yes!
Now it's pretty obvious, isn't it? Sevenoaks simply meaning 7 oaks. Here's a fact for you though, George. Most of the original oaks were blown over during the Great Storm of 1987. I don't know the exact number, but I think 5 were blown over, about that.
Right, okay.
So they had to replant another 5 to make sure that there's still 7 oaks.
Oh.
I think that's the story.
Oh,
I've got another quick one before we move on to your one. Rochester's quite interesting. Now, again, it's one of them funny things that I don't know how to pronounce. It derives from Hrothry's fortified camp and was originally... honestly, mate, you read these old words and was originally a stronghold enclosed by Roman walls. Dude, what does this say? H-R-O-F-I-S.
I've no idea how
Go on, get on. I've done
that.
it. You give it a go.
Let me have a look. Hrothry's.
So you almost have to cough at the beginning, don't you?
Yeah.
Hrothry. Fortified camp. Rochester. Hrothry's fortified camp. There you
Wow,
go.
fantastic.
So we're going to finish up with funny place names. We're not going to give you the meaning. We're just going to tell you the funny names that we've come across. So, am I starting the funny ones or you?
You can start, Pete. You go for it. I think mine are going to beat yours.
Do you?
Yeah, at home, folks, you can judge. You tell us who you think wins this.
Okay.
Let us know in the comments section.
The first of my 5 funny ones is, well, I'm starting with my weakest and getting stronger as I go along, right? Badger's Mount in Sevenoaks. I could just imagine this place where badgers are all mounted.
Right, that's pretty good. I've got a place in Faversham called Ticklebelly Alley.
Cool, gets a tickle, good. I got a place in Tunbridge called Jeffrey's Passage.
Right, I've got a place near Canterbury, called Pet Bottom.
There's a bit of a story behind this one for me, right? There's an alley in Deal called Cockle Swamp Alley. Now, the funny thing about Cockle Swamp Alley is I first come across it when I was a very young man, drunk, having a bit of an intimate time with a young lady.
You don't drink, do you, Pete?
The funny thing is, I looked up and saw that there was this alley called Cockle Swamp Alley. And the next morning I remembered the name of the alley, but not the name of the girl.
Oh.
Cockle Swamp Alley, stay with me for the rest of my life.
Right, so I'm up next. I've got a place over in Swale called Mock Beggar.
Mock beggar.
Mock beggar.
Nice. I could do with a bit of this next place in Whitstable called Squeeze Gut Alley. Need to squeeze that gut in a little bit.
Right, so I've got a place over near Sevenoaks, okay, called Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark?
Noah's Ark, yeah.
Now this is a good one there that I'm going to finish on. I'm going to finish on a strong one because it's quite a funny thing. It's actually not a place, it's a signpost. So we talked about Sandwich earlier.
Yeah.
And off of Sandwich is a little village called Ham.
Yeah.
And there's a signpost, and if you look at it, it actually says Ham Sandwich.
Yeah. And finally, I've got a place over in Eastery, okay, and it's genuinely called Butthole Pond.
Butthole Pond?
Butthole Pond, I know. God, you couldn't make it up.
Right. So here's a challenge for you guys at home. If you've heard any of them funny names or the meanings behind them, let us know. I mean, Cockle Swamp Alley, I believe, I actually had a little bit of a look into this. I believe there was a place up that alley that processed cockles that were brought in from the beach, and they would get, all the shells would be piled out and you'd be trudging through cockle shells up that alley, and that's why it was called Cockle Swamp Alley. But of any of these funny 5 names, if you can get the meaning behind them, let us know in the comments or on our Facebook page.
Fantastic. Now, I'd just like to say something, folks. Something quite strange happened whilst I was researching my part of this episode.
Aliens.
Aliens. It wasn't aliens, Pete. Pete here's a bit obsessed with Roswell and aliens, folks. So basically, my surname, Chittenden, I'm aware, I've always been aware that it's connected with Kent and it goes back a long way. People often tell me that my ancestors were from the Romney Marsh area. Other people say that my ancestors came from Ashford. Okay. However, I actually stumbled across my own surname, Chittenden, in a very old book. I'll show you right here. And it goes on to say in this book that my family name goes as far back as 1292 in Kent, and it mentions both woodland pasture and also an island of firm ground in marshland, which I assume is probably the Romney Marsh connection. It's something I'm definitely going to research into, discover more about, and maybe see if I can track down where these locations originally were.
The truth is out there, George.
The truth is out there.
So that's it for this episode. We do hope you enjoyed the show. Please remember to like and share if you're on Facebook, and subscribe and like if you're on YouTube. Now, I just want to mention that the History Project is a community interest company, and we're currently trying to raise some money to get behind some really great interactive community projects. If this is something you want to help us with, we've put a link in the description, link into our Patreon page. And all this is a website that enables people to support the content makers they enjoy, trust and believe in. So if you think this is a worthwhile cause and you're enjoying our show, please take a little look and support accordingly. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.